Hi everyone, this is George A for one more episode of Too Many Bones by Chip Theory Games. We are on our third day after barely managed to succeed in the second day battle after Ting was knocked out in the very first round before he had a chance to act. Um, so going on to the third round, we have the last of the fixed special encounters that go at the beginning of the deck. Crossing the Cibron. The Cibron River, a glistening vein of trade running the length of Taylor, playfully beckons as it shimmers in the daylight up ahead. But with so few bridges in these parts, this crossing is an obvious spot for enemy scouts and traps. A journey of this importance leaves only two options. Tucking the ears and trying to blend in is risky but efficient. A boat at dusk carries less chance of discovery but requires business with a mourner, a trading syndicate with their own set of drawbacks. And here we have a choice. Tuck your ears and walk like a commoner. Roll a d6 for each party member. So on a 1 or 2 the party is spotted. So the next encounter will be the first Terran encounter that's on the encounter deck. But on the upside, we'll get an extra progress point and an extra training point, and encounter success is achieved no matter the outcome. The second choice is to hire the Molnor. These are the traders that will give us a trove loot, but then they will come back at a later point and they might ask for uh, some payback, or you know they might challenge us to a very difficult fight. So here I think, especially given that I think we're still a bit vulnerable with our low hit points, low defenses, we saw what happened last game. We'll go for the training point just to play it safe. I mean, if I wasn't playing season adventure, if I had a few like extra training points to start with, I might have gone for the second option. So day 3 is very simple. There is no combat, it's a peaceful encounter. So we roll a d6 for each party member. So far I've never managed to get through day 3 without rolling a 1 on 2 and get spotted. But let's see, there's always the chance for a first time. So Tantrum throws a 6. Very good Tantrum, successfully tacked his ears. Gilly is rolls a 1. No. Unfortunately, once more I get spotted. So which means that the next encounter will be the blue Terran encounter. Here it is. I'm gonna just shuffle everything else and place this on top. So there's two Terran encounters for Gentrix, and don't know which one it is. I know there's one that has to do with the orb that he can summon and can help you make the final battle easier. I can't remember what the second one is. Looking at the boss card, I can see that the most enemies we face will be kobolds and bogs, and they're quite nasty, have some very dangerous abilities, so disable will be key in our strategy. We have no beasts, which is a relief because I hate beasts. They tend to kill me all the time. They roll like 4 or 5 attack. We have orcs, which can get really nasty if they gang up on you because they tend to have the raid ability. So this one here, raiding, it means that they get +1 attack for every other orc in the combat. So we'll try to scout them and avoid having too many orcs at the same time. But like one orc is quite easy. I'm not particularly worried. Okay, so day 3 we have encounter success, 2 progress points and 1 training point. So we've got 1, 2, and ready for day 4. Let's get our training point. Like for Tantrum, as I said, because disable will be key for our strategy, I will get Way of the Wild. This is die 11. So this one can disable a buddy up to 5-point buddy for the whole encounter, and that's a really amazing skill. For Gilly, since I've got more dexterity than attack and defense dice. I'll try to train my attack once more. If it fails, I go for defense. Let's see, yes. So going attack 3. And Think will get his build 2.0 die, and I can slot it at slot 6 straight away, just to start rolling this one first. It gives us more of a chance to get more attachments. Okay, so this was day 3. So we moving to the tower encounter for day 4. Tower encounter, the language of the orb. The orb materializes out of nowhere, suspended in the air and emanating a black and ominous light. At first it simply hovers above the mat that's been impeding any real progress for the day. Then it speaks, not audibly and not in any language spoken in Delor. The words it's speaking seem to float through the air without movement or sound, yet they're easily understood. Running away in this driving rain is going to be difficult, but meeting the orb's demands is going to come at a cost. Let's see, this is the first time I'm doing this tower encounter actually. There's no plan B. The orb's subtle mind control affects your decision making. Party points. No backup plans may be used during battle. And second choice, is there a plan C? Again with party points for each bone a gear lock rolls, the orb does 1 damage to it. And if we succeed, we get, okay, we'll get 2 training points and 1 loot for the second option. That's tempting. Who are we facing? So we're facing, one thing I forgot. At the end of last encounter we have recovery options. So at the end of day 2 we healed up, but at the end of day 3 we didn't do anything, so we can scout the area. So let's do some scouting. So Tantrum rolls a 5, so let's have a look at the next 5-point buddy. Okay, it's a troll, not too bad, let's keep it there. Gilly will roll a 4. Now I think I will go for level 1 because I know it's day 4, I've got 3 gear locks, so it's going to be 12 body points, so I'm going to have 2 5-point buddies and 2 1-point buddies. So let's have a look. If it's an orc, I might cycle it at the bottom. Okay, it's a bog frog. It's not too bad. It does poison, but I'll try to tank it with a bot maybe. Goes on top, and Ting will roll a 3. So let's scout the next 0.1 buddy. It's a troll. That's great. I'm getting decent enemies and no like hard kobolds with hardy and compound yet, so I might get them all at the same time. No golems. I can roll this at the start of my counter. This is the build 2.0 die. Okay, so I think no matter how I place this, so this is 5. There's no way to get both the attachments on this build die, but I think I will choose to put it like here so I can take their horn. It's going to be very useful just to do disable on the enemies. Okay, so I can still choose. The top option is tempting because it's gonna be easy and it's gonna secure us. We're gonna get a training point and loot. I could risk it. I mean, I've got low hit points, but I've got some healing. I've got the reinforced buckler. So, Ting doesn't roll much attack and defense dice, so not many bones. So I think I will take a chance and go for the second option. Okay. So at the start of the battle I have one more thing I forgot. Gilly's special ability, his innate ability, I will scout the 20-point buddy just to see what's at the top. It's a Dragon Elder, weakened to flight. Okay, there's could be much worse. Okay. So let's start setting up. I'll place the trap in lane 1 because I know the orc is gonna come in. Let's roll the trap and get the hit points for the troll, for the orc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just keeping you in suspense. I don't know what the trap rolled. Hope it's not the bone again. -2 attack. This is excellent because it means that until we damage the orc, he's gonna be able to roll no dice. So he's weakened and is basically defenseless. We can focus on other enemies. We don't have to worry about him at the beginning of the fight. His initiative is 3. Second enemy is this Manticore. We want to try to disable him as fast as possible because with disable he won't be able to rage or he won't be able to poison. So again he'll be sitting duck. I have to remember to try to avoid rolling bones if possible, or it says for each bone the orb does damage. So let's place the Manticore. 6 health, 3 initiative. And the Bog Frog, 4 health, 3 initiative. Luckily the enemies have low initiative, so might be able to take control of the fight before they get to act. Just kill 1 or 2. And then the last one is a troll. Initiative of 2. Big, dumb and slow. Here we go. So let's roll my initiative dice and I'll place my gearlocks. Hopefully I place it a bit more clever than last time. Okay, I'll go first once more. So Gilly will go first with a 5, then Tantrum with 5, and Ting with a 4. Okay, so my first priority is to try to kill and disable this Manticore. So I'll start with Ting here, and I'll start with Gilly here. So I could place. I'll start with Gilly here, so I can place my companion around here. Start tanking away, and I think it's gonna start here so he can put his bot to do damage here. And I think actually between Gilly and Tantrum we should be able to handle the Manticore, so maybe I should instead, so it was the 5 phase, instead go for the firing arm. Okay, so first is Gilly's turn, round 1. I have 4 dexterity, so I will roll 3 dice and my Wolverine. And I'm attacking this Manticore. Try to take him out first. One, two, three, 4. Seems like we're doing good. So he's at 2 health remaining. And Wolverine goes here with 2 hit points. That's the turn. Now Tantrum will move in for 1 dexterity. He has a total of 4, so 3 left. So I can roll 3 attack dice, and for free I will also roll the defense die because of the reinforced buckler. And again, attacking the Manticore, I should be able to kill him. I tick up rage to 1.2. Come on, we need some body count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm rolling really well today. So I put the defense die on my active slot. 4 damage, I didn't roll any bones. So the Manticore is dead. And body count goes to 3. Body count can be used at any time during my turn to heal up by however many points are on the body count. So if I was hurt, I'd be able to immediately set it to 0 to heal up for another 3 points, which is great for sustainability from Tantrum because he has kind of like, he's not the most defensive character, but he kills enemies and he gets body count to heal up himself. So Gilly, no. So this was Tantrum, and now will be Ting. Now finally he'll be able to get his turn. Okay, so Ting starts with 4 dexterity. The first thing he will do, so let's tidy up the health tokens. Health chips. I don't know why they look a bit odd. Okay, let's just trade them up for those nice and neat. Spends 1 dexterity to increase the bot to charge him up from battery 2 to battery 3. That's 1 dexterity. Second dexterity to deploy it. That's 5 health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1 dexterity to charge it up, 1 dexterity to deploy. So there's 2 left. So this build deck is exhausted. I'll be able to use this attachment. So I will roll. I've got 2 more dice left, and I'll roll those 2 attachments. So the attachment and the next build deck, just in case I need to build the second bot. If the first one dies, I can deploy the second one. Okay, so this one is diagonal, and you know I should be able to deploy with an air horn if I want to. And I got a 2 on the firing arm. So let's have a look how Ting works. So to activate the bot, I need to reduce his battery back down to 2. So it starts at 2, I charge it up to 3, and then immediately goes down to 2. It does 2 auto damage against the adjacent body, and the firearm does another 2 to another body. So I'm not gonna do it here because he's got rage. So if I don't hit him, he will get 2 attack dice minus 2, so that's 0. So I want to keep him like that. So I'm doing it on the troll. He's got thick skin, so he takes 1. And that's it. Not too bad. So the orc will roll 0 attack dice against Tantrum. That's nothing. And then the frog will poison the bot, and bots are immune to poison. So that's very successful so far. And the last thing, the troll romper is going to attack the weakest adjacent enemy, which is the Wolverine. Rolls 1 attack die, he's careless, so if I roll a bone, he will damage himself. No, so the Wolverine takes 1 damage. Let's move doing a pile of 5-point bodies here. And that's the first round. And moving to round 2. So this is going excellent so far. I've taken no damage. I've killed the hardest of the enemies, and now I'm ready to kill the rest of them. So Gilly will now actually attack. We're ready to kill this orc. So we'll roll 3 dice and the multi-arrow. He's probably gonna roll some bones, take some damage, but you know, it's not the end of the world. We need to heal up a bit. So here we go. So the bone is gonna force us to lose health, unfortunately. So one thing I didn't actually do at the beginning of the round, the Wolverine moves here and does damage on the orc. And actually, what I shouldn't have been able to roll 3 dice, 3 attack with the multi arrows. So what I will do is, I'm just gonna punish myself by not using multi arrow. I'm just gonna take the bone and 1 which is a below average result, and do another 2 damage on the orc. So he is now at 2 health. And the reason, for those of you who haven't played Gilly before, is the green die on the top left of the Wolverine means that he has to spend 1 dexterity per round to keep the Wolverine in play. And actually, if I wanted to optimize, I could just dismiss the Wolverine and roll all my dice, but I think this is going well, so there's no reason to do that. Okay, so my dice is messed up just a little bit for the initiative. So Tantrum's turn, he should be able to make short work of the orc at the moment. So he will uptick his rage to 1.4. He will roll 1, 2, 3 attack dice and the disable. And for free I'm gonna get, actually I don't actually know if I'm allowed to roll a defense die if I have a defense die on my active slot. I've got 0 plus 1 is 1, so I'm gonna play it safe and assume that I can't roll another defense die. I could exhaust this one and roll again if I want to get bones, but in this scenario I don't want to get any bones, so I'm fine the way I am. So let's roll these dice against the orc. Okay, I get a bone which does the damage to me and takes my shield. I will disable the troll because it says place disable effect on any adjacent point or less, so 5 point or less body for the battle. So it doesn't need to be my target. So my target is the orc, which I'm killing because I rolled 3 attack and he has 2 hit points left. And gives me 1 more body count, so we're up to 4. Rage is 1.4. We didn't take any damage, and we're disabling the troll, which means he's no longer gonna have any thick skin. It's just gonna make it easier to kill. Next one is Ting. So what Ting is going to do, we have to spend the battery charge for the bot to activate it. So from 2 it goes to 1 for this round, and it's gonna be able to do 2 auto damage to kill him, and we'll roll the firing arm. I'm not gonna roll any defense dice just because I don't want to risk getting any bones. So this will be a very easy battle if I roll a 2. If I roll a 2, we win. And as you can see, the firearm has 5 2s and a 1 and no bones. That's why firing arm is a very reliable damage for Ting spots. So we do 2 damage from the auto attack on the adjacent target, which is the Bob Frog, and 2 damage at range from the firearm. And he doesn't get thick skin because he was disabled by a Tantrum skill. So this was day 4. It was very successful encounter. I rolled really well, didn't roll many bones. So I'm just gonna tidy up the skills for the end of the round, and then we'll spend our nice 20 points. So what have we got? So we get back Way of the Wild, Rage goes back to 0, the um, we lose the bone that we accumulated. We get the snare. See, in this game we saw how powerful the snare is at the start of the game. If you weaken a 5-point buddy, one of the two 5-point buddies was weakened, and the other one we killed just before he had a chance to act. And that's how you can turn a hard battle to a cakewalk, just like that, with clever use of your skills. So that's everything. So the only person that took any damage is Gilly from the bone that he rolled. And encounter success. Is there a plan C? Well, apparently there is a plan C, and plan C is to kill everybody before they can kill you. And Tantrum is his favorite plan. Tantrum likes to kill everybody before they get to act. So we get 1 progress point, 2 training points, and loot. So the progress point would take us all the way here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 4 days. Let's get the loot first. Skinning knife, that's really good. Prying iron, okay, helps with lockpick if we get anything to lockpick, and a few sensons. Probably we're gonna trade this to Gilly, so he'll be able to roll more attack dice as a single use. For training points we have 2, and let's start with Tantrum as usual. Now I've got a few choices here. I could either go Cripple, which is sorry about this, I had an issue with my mic. I'll try to cut it off the video. So Cripple will give me another way to reduce the attack of enemies, and it would stack with Woven Snare or be able to apply to a different body. I could just keep training attack and dexterity. And another thing I want to do, I really want to increase the health for Tantrum. I've got 2 training points, so I think I should definitely go for 1 health and 1 dexterity. So with extra dexterity, I will be able to roll the forward attack plus 1 of the skills if I need to. With Gilly, I definitely want to get I will get a defense, and I will also get a hit point. So I think these 20 points will just give us a well-rounded, a solid build. So we're not too vulnerable. We can roll some defense. We have some hit points. With Ting, I will definitely get the alternator. It's a very useful attachment for the bots. It helps them heal and recharge the battery. And for the other one, I'm torn between getting the Kogan Spanner or getting an extra health, and I think I will get health, and the reason for that is that the level 2 bot has 5 health, and in case we run into any ranged buddies that attack the weakest, and maybe we can't get the Wolverine out, or maybe they attack the 2 weakest, I want the bot to be able to tank the hits and not think. So for this round I will go for 1 more health, and next time we'll just go skills and attack, be able to stun the body, get some more attachments, get extra defense and dexterity. But now we are nice and solid. So at the end, at the recovery phase, I can trade loot, make lockpicking attempt, which I don't have any trove loot, rest and recover, search for better loot, scout the area. Okay, so this one, the infused essence definitely will go to Gilly. We'll give skinny knife to Tink, and we'll keep prying arrow here. Doesn't matter who has it at the moment. Skinny knife is very interesting. It says before drawing your next encounter, you can place a defeated body from your most recent battle onto this card. Any battles of that type appearing in your next battle are surprised. And surprise means they will act before, they will act after all our gear locks, so in initiative. And that's key for enemies that have a high initiative. Generally, the dragons will have high initiative, whereas the bogs, the orcs, the trolls will have a low initiative. And what did we defeat? We defeated a frog, a troll, the manticore, and the orc. I think I will. What's coming up? Okay, we've got that coming up. I think I will scout, and then if I see anything I want to reduce in initiative, I might consider using this. But I think I will keep it for kobolds, because kobolds tend to have high initiative. So day 5 is going to be 15 body points, so 3 5-point bodies. So for recovery phase, Gilly will rest, and he's now will have 5 health. Tantrum is on full 6 health. Let's get him 6 extra health points. And Tink has his extra 5th health point. And every time you train health, your current health also increases. So we don't need to heal up because we leveled up health if we haven't been injured. It wouldn't make sense. So because we have 2 gear locks, so Tantrum and Tink didn't have to rest, we can do some more scouting. Alternatively, I could try to get rid of this prying arrow and get an extra loot, but I've, I tend to roll no bones when I try to gamble to search for better loot. So I think I'll keep this just in case there's some nasty encounters that maybe you start with, being shackled and tied up, and you need to unlock yourself before you can do something. And having an item like this would be really, really handy. So what I'll do, I'm gonna do 2 scout attempts with Tantrum as a 2, so we can have a look. This is Hardy, but he only rolls 1 attack, so he's like the weakest of the kobolds. So it's not a big deal. And for Tink, we're rolling a 6. I think I'm just gonna have a look at the next 5-point body. I know there's gonna be 3 of these guys coming up. Okay, so this is an orc, and I'm really, really tempted to move him down. He's got 3 attack, 2 defense, raiding, taunt. I think I should be able to handle him as long as we don't get another orc, and we're gonna scout. If we get another orc, we'll cycle that one down. So that's it. And that's the end of day 5. Sorry, this is the end of day 4. So next video we're going to go on day 5, and I'd like to thank everybody who watched my videos, everybody who's commented and gave me thumbs up. Really appreciate it. This is my first YouTube playthrough, and I was a bit scared that no one's gonna watch it, no one's gonna like it. They're not gonna be able to figure out what I'm saying or what I'm trying to do. But their initial comments, initial reactions were encouraging, so I'll try to keep it up and do at least a video per day or 2 until we do this playthrough, and then maybe if people want, to see some more. I might play next playthrough with I might do a poll about which gearlocks to use and which Tyrant to use, and how many play two gearlock game, play solo game. I usually play three gearlocks just because it's kind of like it's a nice balance. It's a bit challenging. You get a good synergies. You get strong bodies. I find with solo, I've never actually played with one gearlock. I've watched a lot of playthroughs. It tends to be a little bit, you know, constrained in the way that everybody's just going to attack you, and you kite, or there's not many strong enemies. You either kill them fast, or try to run away. Whereas with two, it tends to be a little bit. With two gearlock game is the only one I've ever lost, and it was because of getting knocked out really early. If we have two gearlocks with relatively low initiative, like I was playing Nugget and Patches with a friend, and we lost two of the battles quite early because first round we had like a beast attacking with 4 or 5 dice and knocking down one of us without a chance before we got to act, and then the second player didn't really have too much of a chance. Was with three, I mean, as you saw in the last video, if one of the three gets knocked out, then the other two have a good chance to be able to win the fight. And good synergy is a good trade-off, I feel. So thank you again all for watching. Thanks to the amazing guys at Chip Theory Games for creating this game. And it's if you haven't got the game, you should really check it out. I think there's a second printing of the game. I expect it over the next few months. I think it's coming out in August, and there's orders available. Um, I want to sincerely thank Ricky Royal, actually, because not just because he encouraged me with his comment on my last video, but it's because he's the first one I've watched do playthroughs online, and that I got into Mage Knight because of his playthroughs. I actually got too many bones because I watched his videos. So I think he's an inspiration to the community. He's issuing a game, Renegade, at Kickstarter next month, and if you're interested in something like that, I definitely am interested. You should check it out. And finally, I'd like to thank the person who built the tabletop simulator mod on for Too Many Bones, just because it just makes it a lot easier for me to be able to record. I mean, I don't have any experience in recording or editing, so I can just sit on my computer, download an app that can record my screen, and I can do this playthrough. Thanks very much, everybody. I'll see you next time.